Hi guys, I'm just reading the paper, relaxing this morning, and thought I would ask you to join me. So, there's not a lot of news in here that's of great interest, but let's see what's going on. First of all, there are a couple of interesting articles. Look at this. It's going to be hard for you to tell what this is, but this is a boat that's upside down in the Delta, the Sacramento Delta. It says the Spirit of Sacramento. It's an old kind of paddlewheeler sort of steamship thing. I remember seeing it when I used to drive out there all the time, close to where this thing was. When I used to work in Sacramento a lot, I'm living out there now, but temporarily. But I would take the Delta route and go past the estuaries and the Sacramento River. And I used to see this boat, but it was abandoned and some guy bought it for $1,000, And then the thing capsized and turned upside down. So that's kind of sad. It was sort of a landmark. It says they're trying to figure out what to do now. Here's an article that's too political, so I'll skip it. Here's something about gentrification. The art of gentrification, the cost. That's when a bad neighborhood starts turning into a good neighborhood because housing is scarce and people are moving into an area, buying up the old homes, renovating them, and causing the area to improve instead of fall apart. But some people don't like it because they say it displaces the poor residents that were there before. 49ers released the tight end after an alleged assault. Do you think this guy assaulted someone? We'll read the article and see what it says. I hate it when my tight end is assaulted. Oh wait, it's the other way around. He was accused of assault. Okay. Another article, bibliotherapy uses the power of books to cure what ails you. This is about how you can relax and read a good story, and it will prevent depression and give you calming endorphins, kind of like ASMR does, right? Oh, here's an interesting article because I have people I know who would be very interested in a couple things in here. Obama cancels talks after Filipinos insult. See there? I guess he was going to meet with the Philippine President Duterte. Let me see what it says. President Barack Obama called off a planned meeting with the new Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, seeking distance from a U.S. ally's leader during a diplomatic tour with a cast of contentious world figures. It's unusual for one president to tell another what to say or not to say, much rarer to call the other one a son of a bitch. That is what the paper says the slur was that Duterte used toward Obama. But I have it on good authority. If you research the actual slur in the Filipino language, it's son of a whore they use there as a Filipino who I respect told me this. So Obama said in respect, and that's considered a huge insult in the Philippines, kind of a more hardcore version of the American slang son of a bitch term. Like in the poker movie Rounders, since some of you liked the poker video, which I'm going to do a lot more of, by the way. I will do a whole series on poker strategy for Hold'em poker, limit and no limit both, and tournament in the future. Anyway, in the movie Rounders, you know, where the character Teddy KGB looks at his opponent Matt Damon and says something like, let's play some cards, you son of the beach. Oh no, he says, Mr. Son of Beach, let's play some card, you know, something like that, because he's getting a little bit angry because the Matt Damon character, what's his name in the movie, Mike McDermott, is kicking Teddy's butt in poker, right? And anyway, why is Duterte insulting Obama? Well, the new president in the Philippines has been under intense global scrutiny over the more than 2,000 suspected drug dealers and users who have been killed since he took office. I thought it was just mostly arrested, but if they resist arrest or sneeze or look the wrong way, they just shoot them. Okay, so that's a bit controversial because the people I know who are important to me, who are Filipino, say that, you know, there's a lot of poor people in the Philippines who might be desperate and sell drugs, or they may be conscripted by the Philippine mafia and be forced to do that, or they might just be associated with somebody doing it and they're being killed without due process of law. So maybe, excuse me, very scratchy today. Should I whisper this whole video? Obama said he planned to raise this issue with Duterte, but the Philippine leader insisted. Had to clear my throat and take a sip of water. Fall allergies. Obama said he planned to raise the issue with Duterte, but the Philippine leader insisted he's only listening to his own country's people. You must be respectful, Duterte said of Obama. Do not just throw questions. And then, using the Tagalog phrase for son of beach, which really is translated properly, son of whore, he said, Putang ina, I will swear at you in that forum. Eager to show that he would not yield, Obama said he would undoubtedly bring up human rights and due process concerns if and when the two meet. I am not going to talk politics in my soothing videos, but let's just say due process of law is important, no matter which side of the political spectrum you're on, and rule of law is important also. So this might be a legitimate difference of opinions amongst world leaders where both sides have a good point. All right. What else? State Judicial Council. We are out of money for court construction. Well, yes, the state is out of money, even though they're bringing in tens of billions in record level high revenues. They're out of money because a lot of that money gets spent on the wrong things. Oh, here's a better picture. Paddlewheeler. And the Paddlewheeler in better times. There it is upside down in the water. Kind of makes me sad because I remember passing it many times driving out here. Here it is in better times. 15 years ago, passing under one of the bridges, the Tower Bridge in Sacramento. Now it is a pollution threat due to the 20,000 gallons. Wait, how many gallons? Let's see. Oh, 20,000. What's wrong with me? 600 gallons of diesel fuel that might be on board. Okay. Well, what else is going on? This is pissing me off, okay? Because I'm going to be moving to Oregon. Video shows vandals destroying a popular rock formation in an Oregon state park. Here's the rock formation they're talking about, called a duckbill formation. And here's what the vandals did to it. Now this is very upsetting. Cell phone video captured a group of people knocking over a sandstone rock formation on an Oregon beach. Originally, the state park officials said they didn't think the break at the site was caused by humans, but the video shot by David Callis of Portland shows a group of visitors pushing the structure until it crumbled to the ground on August 29th at Cape Kiwanda State Natural Area. This is making me upset. Maybe we could get President Duterte from the Philippines over here for a while and ask him to do a crackdown on people who behave badly like this. Why do people want to wreck nature for others? I don't get it. Do you? I'll never understand folks who think that way. Let's see. Coordinated bombs kill senior Afghan officials. Okay, I don't want to. This is supposed to be relaxing today. Do you notice how the news is frequently not very relaxing? North Korea accused of firing 3 long-range missiles. Lack of trust is a major snag between Russia and... Let's skip the news that's not relaxing and see if we can find something that's both interesting and a little less stressful. Storm continues to whip up waves along New England. There's the New England coastline. But those waves look puny compared to the kind we get on the West Coast, which can be huge, especially in the wintertime. Is this because of the hurricane? Yes. Hurricane Hermine, or Hermine. There's always a loud noise here. And I'm just going to keep whining and complaining about it. Literally, it is every 5 minutes. Sorry for that outburst. Is it an outburst if I complain? I don't like to be a complainer. Nobody wants to be around a complainer. Man used fishhook to steal drugs. Santa Barbara County officials say a suspect is accused of using a fishing hook to steal items from a public drop box for expired medications. Well, that's, you gotta admit, that's creative. He was removing pills and other controlled substances from the box in Carpinteria. I actually used to work there from time to time when I was traveling a lot. It's a beautiful town by Santa Barbara on the California coast of Southern California. You know, there was a company there who I won't name, who was building big antennas for the spacecraft I was working on when I was in the rocket science business. Which, by the way, did you see that rocket explosion from SpaceX, the commercial launch provider? One of the companies, one of the big 3 companies, associated with Tesla and Solar City, who have the visionary Elon Musk as their top CEO guy. But the problem is, Tesla cars are very good, perhaps the most innovative and technologically advanced car produced today, but they lose a lot of money on each one they sell, even with a big fat government subsidy being paid to Tesla, or in the form of a tax credit for the buyer. And Solar City, that Tesla just bought out, also loses money like crazy. SpaceX was the only profitable company of those 3, and Elon Musk was using SpaceX revenue to help fund the other 2 companies. This is going to hurt all 3 very badly. Look up on YouTube, SpaceX rocket explosion, and you'll see why this is so serious, because it means it could take down all 3 companies. Certainly, I wouldn't want to be a Tesla investor at the moment, since their stock is already grossly overvalued, in the opinion of just one guy, okay? Don't make investment decisions based on my advice, though. How did we get so far off topic? Armed officers placed at jail. They were stationed at the Fresno jail where an ex-convict opened fire and critically wounded. Okay. Tree removal casts a pall over solar project at federal building. Everything is a controversy these days, I mean, even the weather, everything is a controversy. Do you ever watch those reality TV shows? Do you notice that the producers have to invent controversies if they don't have any real ones? Yeah, they push them to, all right, what was the deal with this guy? I already did a video on Colin Kaepernick. I should do a video on the losing record lately of the San Francisco Giants. But this is a soothing channel, and their record if you're a fan lately, is not very soothing. So let's skip that. Miller released after arrest in San Francisco. How come these sports figures are always, beating their women? Is it the steroids they're taking, do you think? Bruce Miller allegedly attacked 2 guests at a hotel early Monday. He was charged with aggravated assault, elder abuse. Oh, wasn't his girlfriend in this case. Threats and battery. Let's see. He was arrested a year ago in Santa Clara when he attacked 2 guests who were staying at the Marriott Fisherman's Wharf. Also, let's see, he was intoxicated, trying to enter a hotel room occupied by a 70-year-old man and his 66-year-old wife. The couple was in a neighboring room. When he told Miller he had the wrong room, Miller charged the man and a physical confrontation occurred. The father and son were injured in the fight. I wouldn't want to get in a fight with this guy when he's drunk, would you? That would make me a little bit nervous. He was charged with aggravated assault. I know how this wrong room thing goes. I had it happen to me twice now. We were on a trip, and 2 different trips. One time we were staying here close by Sacramento, on a trip to Reno or Tahoe, and some drunk guy was pounding on the door trying to come in our room. And then I had a conversation with him through the door, and he eventually went away. But I wasn't talking nice like I am now, okay? And then in Alaska, another time, same thing. Drunk guy insisted that this was his room when it wasn't. In his case, I escorted him to the hotel's front office and let them deal with the guy. So at least we didn't get in a fight over it, though. What else? Sacramento misses the playoffs. More funny papers that aren't funny. Is there anything funny in the funny paper these days? They're still doing the Peanuts column, but they're doing what's called classic Peanuts. So they're rerunning the old columns that Charles Schulz wrote long ago. Let's see what today says. Snoopy's walking along. See if I can get this in view. Kind of hard for me to see what I have on the camera. Let's get Snoopy over here. There it is. See? Snoopy's walking along. And who's that with? Linus? Yeah, Linus. Snoopy says, here's the world famous novelist walking to the mailbox to send his latest manuscript. And then Linus says, here, let me help you. Because Snoopy couldn't put it in the box. And he's thinking, my career almost came to an end. Because he must have been doing a series on Snoopy imagining being a novelist back then. Well, let's see here. Here is another article that's kind of interesting. Because I've recently been to this country, Denmark. one of those countries that's held up in the world as a model of socialism, along with Sweden and Norway, right? But look what the article is about. Here is a picture of a Muslim immigrant with a Dane going by on a bicycle. And the article is on immigration, and it says, "I've become a racist," Danish native says of the new migrant wave. I've recently been to Denmark, so I'm interested to see what this says. By the way, it's a very nice country, but there are some strange peculiarities there. Like, they're very into the rules, you know. Like in California, we're more into breaking the rules. But in Denmark, if you were to step into a crosswalk before the light turned green, or anything like that, or cross a small street with no traffic in the middle instead of at a crosswalk, you know, anything like that, right? They would frown on you a great deal because they're really into social order and rules. Let's see what this article says. Johnny Christensen, a stout, silver-whiskered, "It's not me, I promise," silver-whiskered, retired bank employee, always thought of himself as sympathetic to people fleeing war and as welcoming to immigrants. But after more than 36,000 Muslim asylum seekers have poured into Denmark over the past 2 years, Christensen says, "I've become a racist." He believes these new migrants are draining Denmark's cherished social welfare system, and they are not adapting to Danish customs. "Kick them out," he says. These Muslims want to come here and keep their own culture, but we have our own rules here, and everyone must follow them. See what I said about Denmark and following the rule? Denmark is a small and orderly nation with a progressive self-image. It is built on a social covenant. In return for some of the world's highest wages and benefits, people are expected to work very hard and pay into the system. Newcomers must quickly learn Danish. I found that out when I was there because they're not going to speak English to you, even if they know it, right? And they must adapt to norms like keeping tidy gardens and riding bicycles. They had little experience. I gotta sip water again. I don't know if I'm gonna get through this video with my voice intact. Let's see, it says they used to be all native born, 97% of them, but now they have this immigration. And they talk about the problems. Let's see, hostilities, how it's even worse in Germany and Sweden because of this influx of immigrants who do not want to assimilate into local laws and customs. I think this is my problem with immigration. In the United States, we welcome everyone from all backgrounds and cultures and ethnicities and racial makeups and all of that and religions. But we welcome them if they're willing to contribute to society, to have an education, to assimilate, to be English speaking, to learn the language at some point, and to love America instead of wanting to hate it and burn it down. So my feeling on this, and I believe this is not racist at all. If you want to come here and work hard and love the country, come on in. If you want to come here and hate on us and just draw our benefits while saying that America's evil and should be burnt to the ground, stay somewhere else, okay? I think this is might be part of the problem here that's going on in Denmark and Sweden. Once again, I don't want to be political or controversial on my soothing channel, but my own opinion is that if you're going to go to another country and start drawing benefits and things like that, you better jolly well adapt to them instead of expecting them. As I was saying, if you're going to move to someone else's country, adapt to them and assimilate rather than expecting them to adapt to you. And this is particularly true if you want them to start doing things like treating women as dogs putting them in a black bag from head to toe, telling them they can't drive or get an education or hold a job or go outside without a family member escort. We don't want those rules here, okay? We really don't. So keep that back in your home country that you left because you didn't want to live that way, and don't bring it here and tell us we have to adapt to you. If you will come here and love the country and help build a better one, then you're welcome, right? If you want to come here and start drawing benefits and telling us how much you hate us and want to blow us up, I don't think we want you then, right? Is that unreasonable and racist? I don't think so. This is a problem occurring all over the world right now, not just here. So, what can I say? That's it for today. On that note, hopefully you're asleep already, and so you don't have to get worked up into culture and politics and the differences in, ethnic backgrounds or religions or any of that. Take care, everyone. Don't ASMR and drive, and don't get distracted by your cell phone or Pokemon Go when you're driving. Bye-bye.